Hi everyone, this is Robert Burke in the EDP 520 class for the summer session of 2016, and my article presentation is entitled Benefits and Limitations of iPads in the High School Science Classroom and a Trophic Cascade Lesson Plan by the respected authors that are listed in the first slide. After reading the article and doing some comparison to what I see as being an educator, I found this article to be very informative and interesting. The abstract shows that there is a study that's exploring how to actually integrate technology and an iPad development program into a high school setting that focuses on STEM, which STEM is the abbreviation for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. What's very interesting about this article also is the lesson planning and the curriculum development where teachers try to enhance the academic learning and where students are able to collaborate with other students and have explicit communication between each other and also between the teachers. In some sense, this is almost as a flipped classroom where the students are learning as they are creating their actual work. With that, the potential of this iPad program for the science classes in Washington proved to be innovative and motivating for the students. It showed a lot of great potential where they were able to connect students based on different high school grade levels from 9 through 12. The technology innovation was very, very informative for teachers who wanted to bridge that gap between overhead projectors and lectures and have more of an actual collaborative classroom setting. And it also enhanced the classroom management skills of a teacher when integrating technology, specifically for the iPads. With that, the study design and the lesson plan was also very informative, and it also went back to the innovation because it was allowing the teachers to be more creative in their curriculum development and also in the core standards that Washington State School District had implemented. And one of the things that I also found out in this article was that they primarily used this experiment for the iPad curriculum development in ecology classes, which is part of the sciences. Usually, as it's explained in the article, first, this is a sophomore science class, which means that the freshmen in the Washington State School District had to have taken an introductory to biology their freshman year, being a ninth grader. That was interesting to me because being in the state of California, we require in my school that our sophomores actually take biology at the sophomore level, and they take an introductory course into physical science or some type of science development course their freshman year. That was actually very interesting to me. So I think I saw like a backwards curriculum integration from one state to another. But with that came different experiments. So as I had mentioned, they had a local Washington State high school and focused really on grades 9 through 12 with an ecology class. Actually, they focused on three ecology classes, and the experiment was to do a 2-hour laboratory study for students to assess. Now, what is it they were assessing? They were doing different experiments based on ecological experiments that involve weather-wise, globalization, different terms in chemistry, so on and so forth. A lot of computation had to be put into this, so there was different different ideas of curriculum that the teacher had to innovate into this lesson, where there was a lot of calculations that was created in this course. Sorry, I'm trying to like say everything all at once within 4 minutes. Now, the data collection for the students in the iPads proved to be very, very informative. Actually, the classroom activities show that a lot of students made, about 80% of the students made an attempt to try to incorporate their findings based on what they found with iPads, such as doing data research and the representation of showing how the students were engaged through instructional technology, but focusing on the actual lesson that was being taught in the ecology classes that was based on weather alignment and as well as different ideas of sciences based on a biological setting for plants and agriculture. Also, they also did some calculations and some computations on the iPad program by doing health experiments through a food chain, which they were looking at glucose systems and whatnot at a higher level for those sophomores that were in the advanced studies and those going back to the introductory level for biology classes. Looking at the results and everything of the iPad development through the K through 12 system, which is what they first suggested in the article, even though they focused only on high schools, the students found the results to be very, very positive and were very engaged with the idea that they wanted to have their teachers produce more classroom activities that would focus on collaboration and communication between one another. The engagement was very high. There was a positive atmosphere, and it also improved the classroom management, as I said earlier, for the instructors. The majority of the administration was very pleased with this, but there were some developments that needed to be addressed based on how long do students get to participate with an iPad, the funding for it and everything. What I found interesting about this article was that it was useful for me being an educational technology graduate student and also as an educational technology specialist in my high school that I work at right now. I found it very informative because it shows that as teachers, we're always trying to be better and we're always trying to enhance the learning in our classroom and always making fun and interacting. One of the things that I really wanted to see taken away from this article was, even though they always focus on the STEM aspect, either in the science, the technology, the mathematics, the engineering, the science classes based on biology or ecology, what this article represents, I really would like some articles to be based off of the humanities perspective, world languages, fine arts, comparative literature, and how we can formally use the iPad development in our classrooms. I think it's engaging for us to know as educators and find out a wide spectrum of how we can always integrate different tools into our classroom. But nonetheless, I did find that the information was useful for me. I do like the idea of implementing new curriculum development into the classrooms for our teachers. I would strongly suggest that after reading this article, even though they want to try to do a finding for a a professional development standpoint of K through 12 technology integration, they really only focused on the high school setting, but they first mentioned that they were going to do a K through 12 study, but did not do a wide range of elementary to secondary schools. They only focused on the secondary schools, which was 9 through 12. So that was my only critique, but other than that, I did find that this information was useful for me being an educator. So I hope you found this presentation interesting, and I look forward to any comments that you may have. And if you have any questions or like to know more about iPad development, please go ahead and comment.